Hello everyone, it's me. I know, you're all excited, and welcome to a video that talks about the streams and why I do what I do with them, and let's just get into it, and we'll go from there. As for how stream content works, it is primarily game playthroughs. I don't really 100% them unless I think it's tolerable to do so. I might also just play games that are more for fun rather than playing through them, and that's specifically things like multiplayer games and roguelikes. I'll also practically play any genre, though there are some that I haven't really touched yet, and I don't know how well they would go for streams. In regards to the hours and the times that I stream, I start at 7 p.m. EST each and every single day. End times are 9 p.m. EST at the latest, although Sunday and Tuesday are 11 p.m. EST, and this is just primarily due to my work schedule. I have off on Monday and Wednesday. It may also change based on events. And what I mean by latest, if I finish the game earlier than the end time or something happens, like say bathroom or family complications, then I just stop streaming that day. When I don't stream, it's because I'm either not feeling well, a late dinner, and by late I mean eating at or before like 6:50, a family thing, such as us being out and watching a movie, or we're just watching a movie at home, or we're doing something as a family, or I'm just visiting family, or I'm just not home in general, is the technicalities on that. Now, when it comes down to what I stream, I have a sort of priority rundown of sorts because sometimes it's this game I really want to play, or this game is got an event going on, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to show you guys the image now, and I'll leave it up for a little bit, let you see it, and then I'll start going through the explanations of what each of them are. Obviously, as you can tell, the higher it is, the higher the priority. So let's start off with limited priority. So limited priority has two kind of mini subcategories. The first one is basically limited time only events, and what I mean by this is for say Splatoon 3, it's Splatfests, big runs, and the start of seasons. It could be big scale Dota 2 patch notes like the 7.33, 7.34, 7.35, or it gets a new hero like how the Muerta patch was. It could be the watching blinds. It could be the Steam Next Fest. Basically, if it's only available for like a day, a week, whatever, it's the highest priority. But it's also depending on my friendos and their availability. So if Crescent or Vin are involved, or I can get them involved that night, that's also like the highest priority for me because their schedules are a little bit more strict than Llama's. So that's that one. Next priority is launch priority, which is basically the game just launched. I'm playing it no matter what because I want to play it as soon as it comes out. There's a limit, however, for this of 3 a year at most because it's more fair for basically all of the other kind of games that get played. And to those curious about this year's launch priority ones, I only have two right now. There's Princess Peach Showtime and Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. Third one I don't really have right now, but time will tell. Now, the next four priorities are a little kind of jumbled, so we're going to just start on the right side for right now. The first of those is the request owned priority. So down in the description, you can find a link where you can effectively request games for me to play, and the requested games, if I own them, I will prioritize them over the backlog and request unowned. And that's effectively what that is. Backlog priority is effectively playing games in my backlog. So in the description, you can find another link that brings you to what I call the list, which is all the games that I have on console that I am able to play right now. There's also PC games that are not on the list, and the reason is I have over 1,000 across Steam and Epic and Amazon launchers and other launchers, and I will go insane if I try to add all of them. So there's that one. And then the next priority is obviously request unowned, which if it's requested but I don't currently own it, it's basically here. I have a lot of games on the backlog. You read the list and the 1,000 games across PC. I kind of want to prioritize that over someone say, hey, can you play this game that you don't own at all whatsoever? I will buy them on occasion, so it's not like it's completely out of the void, but it's very much just I do want to kind of go through the backlog because it's really, really bad. Next is secondary priority, and this is basically multiple categories. So it's games that don't really need playthroughs or don't feel like playthroughs, like, say, Dwarf Fortress, Project Zomboid, roguelikes. It's playing games with the friendos, just in general. And it's also games that are affected by what I call the 100 hours rule. So the 100 hours rule is, allow me to explain it like this. So I stream for about 20 hours a week, or I can stream for up to 20 hours a week, generally speaking. And I can play long games. I can play games that could be like 120 hours just to say get 100% completion and so on and so forth. If a playthrough reaches 100 hours the year I start it, it becomes a secondary priority game. Period. End of story. The only one that I have of this so far is Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and this is just due to me starting it late in the year rather than anything else. So, yeah. Long game gets put on the back burner because I want to play games. I don't want to just sit here for 200 hours and end up having something that takes almost a third of the year. Now, sometimes I might do what are called marathons, which is multiple games back to back. Marathons ignore the 100 hours rule by technicality of being multiple games. So, to kind of explain what I mean, the games themselves cannot be over 100 hours each, but the marathon as a whole can be. So, for example, if I'm doing a 2 game marathon and it's 140 hours, it's technically fine because maybe each of those games is 70 hours, or maybe it's 5 games and they're, say, 25 hours a pop, and so on and so forth. Basically, this just kind of ignores that by technicality of being multiple games, and the 100 hours rule is for individual ones. Now, the last rule I have is I might quit a game just simply because it's kind of bad or has something so stupid that I go, I'm done. I'm done. Goodbye. I'm out of here. It's too much. Kind of an example of this from last year. Blinks the Time Sweeper. The final boss of the game is a boss rush with some kind of unfair mechanics on the player's end that I just said I'm not even going to attempt to finish this game, even though I'm practically at the end. And they should, hopefully, should not affect marathons. It shouldn't, but God only knows. All right, so the last set of rules that I have are basically related to months and holidays because of how I do content. It's just easier for me to have these rules in place. So let's start with January. So no launch priority games in January. None at all whatsoever. If it releases in January, I'm not touching it the day it comes out. And I also am going to have a higher focus on secondary and backlog priority games because I just kind of want to ease back into streaming. I want to have myself getting back into the rhythm of streaming each day, and this is just because of the holiday hiatus that I do in December. February and March don't have anything going on, but April, because of April Fool's Day, I will try to do a silly or joke stream type thing because it's April Fool's Day. You kind of have to. It's kind of the law, I would say. But if I can't think of anything, then April Fool's, I'm not streaming and I'm relaxing, and there you go. May, well, my birthday is in May, specifically May 31st. I'm not streaming on May 31st. It's just a rule that I have. I don't want to do anything on my birthday. Don't want to work. Don't want to make content. Don't want to do anything. That said, I do take off the week of my birthday, so to compensate for that day not getting a stream, it's guaranteed like 4 hour long streams because I'm not going to work for like a week effectively, and that kind of explains it enough. June, July, August and September, nothing. There's no rules related to those months. But October, because it's the month of Halloween and the month of horror, I will do one Halloween or horror related playthrough, bare minimum. So think something like, say, a Resident Evil or a. I can't think of anything else, but you get what I mean. And on Halloween specifically, I will have a Halloween or horror game stream guarantee. And this is separate from the other October rule. So you get a standard playthrough and then you get like a bonus. So yeah. November, I start basically not doing long playthroughs. So anything that would take over 2 weeks at the start of the month, any playthroughs that take over 2 weeks, I am not going to touch at the beginning of the month. While starting on the 21st and on, I don't do any more playthroughs. So no going through the backlog, no requests, none of that. And this is because of December. So December, starting on the 11th, like just post December 10th, for now anyway, I stop streaming. And this is because of holidays. This is because of video content and making the videos, so on and so forth. However, if there are limited priorities that would happen during the month outside of playing with friendos, I will stream. So if there's like a Dota 2 patch or if there's a thing for Splatoon, so on and so forth, it will be streamed as like a, hey, the game is limited time only and I'll miss it if I don't. And there you go. And that's basically it. I'll see you later. Bye bye.